2. Game number 1 right now. The second match of the day. That's what was going on in my head. I always get the numbers mixed up when I'm talking about things like that. My bad. What's up in the chat? How's everyone doing? Nice username, Jerry, my man. How you doing? How's life? Hope to see you sometime soon, maybe. Even though we live like an ocean away. Rip the dream. Hope everyone is doing good here. And I hope you're all having a good start to your Saturdays as we just go into the early afternoon with some more StarCraft action. Let's kick this off and introduce some players. We're going into some TVP now. As to the upper right hand side of the map, it's our yellow Terran player from my Insanity. It's going to be Botvinnik. And down towards the lower left is going to be our orange Protoss player from Team Planet Key Dynamics. It's GungFuBanda. So, as we set up into this, we will be going into a TVP on Dusk Towers. Now, TVP is a matchup which I've actually been enjoying quite a bit lately. I mean, from both sides of the spectrum, I think there's been a lot of variety. I think there's a lot of different unit compositions we're seeing nowadays. I think it's a really, really cool matchup. And we've seen a lot of different kind of styles of play where some players like to go super early Liberators, some players like to go super early Liberators, some people like to go super, more Medivacs early game. There's so many different styles, so many ways to harass and be aggressive early on. It's actually a matchup which I still don't like playing it, I'm not going to lie. I despise playing it as a Terran player and as a Protoss player. But it's really, really fun to watch, especially lately, with kind of all the different things and all the different ways it can play out and so on and so on. As we're going to be seeing this probe just pulling away from the upper right hand side towards the lower left now instead, so GungFuBanda just having his early scout. He sees that it's going to be an early expand, and that's all he needs to see with this probe. Just wants to make sure of that. I mean, just get some information. The things he could be looking for where isn't an early expand is something like a fast double gas, a gas first, something which is going to mean a Widow Mine drop or so is going to hit him a lot earlier in the game than he's originally planning to prepare for. Now he knows kind of the timing of that Widow Mine drop, and now he knows potential Widow Mine drop. It doesn't have to be a Widow Mine drop, but he knows the general timing of a factory. He knows the general timing which his opponent could be aggressive if he wanted to be. As we see, there's a Adept popping out just in time to start dealing with this Reaper, although a probe will go down, and that Reaper will go down too if this Adept can catch it. Oh, grenade though, and the Adept actually does just get it in the end, cuts the corner, and is able to grab it there. So unfortunately, our Reaper goes down, and that's going to be a little bit of a loss here for Botvinnik because, well, now he has to sort of find another way to scout, and he loses that Reaper, and the Reaper is just always kind of your first direction, then you can scan as well wherever you haven't seen with your Reaper. Twilight Council coming down right to the far edge of this base, right to the right hand side here, and intrigued to see how GungFuBanda is going to follow this up. I mean, what exactly is he going to go for? I mean, what's his choice of tech off this Twilight? Is he going to go fast Blink, fast DT Shrine? There's a lot of possibilities. No Robo just yet, which is probably the most interesting thing. So maybe a fast Resonating Glaives. I mean, whatever he does off a Twilight Council doesn't really make sense without a Robo. You almost always get a Robo for detection. You get the Robo as well, so you can go into other things too. It's just going to be Blink, so probably just Blink into third base. But I think a Robo has to come down here sometime soon as well. As you can see, our Blink starting up, and on the other side of the map, well, Botvinnik goes into a fairly quick third CC just off the back of Marines and a Cyclone, and so this is kind of, well, just kind of, this is kind of the build we saw a lot in kind of the early stages of Legacy of the Void, and isn't used necessarily as much nowadays, but is still used frequently. This is the thing, I mean, it's one of these builds that's used kind of on a fairly regular basis. It's used on a fairly regular basis, but not all of the time, so it's one of the cool ways in which TVP can be mixed up a little bit and can change things up in general. Robo facility on the way for GungFuBanda. He's still not chrono boosting that Blink. He's actually leaving his chrono boost on his Nexus, so just going to be Mothership Core coming up and another probe on the way out as well. As we see, again, I mean, Botvinnik just set up defensively against an Oracle or so, and another barracks is coming down, another couple of barracks just coming down, so very standard setup up for him altogether, and that tank just for extra safety in the early stages of the game. This Orbital going to be finishing up in a moment or two as this Adept just sat down on the low ground, and we see a third Nexus coming down for GungFuBanda as well, so third Nexus on the way down for GungFu, and Engineering Bay for Botvinnik as well. You guys, someone was talking about Snoot and Zest in the chat and got Snoot on my mind. I really need to stop looking at chat. I should really just minimize, like, chat to help me, like, focus on the, game sometimes. My bad. I like kind of reading the chat, though, and giving what you guys are up to and stuff like that, and talking to you guys. You guys are like my co-casters. You give me things to discuss bounce ideas off of, only on a 3-minute delay. Finally going to be down over here for GungFuBanda, just looking for a little bit of vision, of course. It helps him to spot any medevacs coming down this left-hand side, and that vision is going to be very important for a Protoss player throughout the entirety of the game. A few Marines just positioned over the left-hand side of the main base. You see a pylon coming in behind the third base as well. Observer just overhead, and you see a scan coming down for Botvinnik. So scan coming down into towards the third base, just checking that third base is there, obviously, more than anything. There's nothing else that scan's going to spot, so really just wants to make sure his opponent's not kind of 2-base all in him. And if he was, then he'd probably kind of stay on his own 2 bases for a little while longer before moving out to try and hold this third base position. So observer on the main base, looking if they're going to see a couple more racks coming down. Starport has just finished up to the top side of the main with a reactor on it, and so he's going to be able to go in towards a couple of medevacs. And the first kind of push of the game is lining up to be in about a minute or so, as Stimpack, Combat Shields, and +1, as well as those first 2 medevacs, all going to be kind of out and ready to go if he wants to attack. I mean, it's a free CC opening, so he's not necessarily going to have a whole ton of units just yet. I mean, the longer he waits, the more that economy kicks in, so he's not necessarily going to have a kind of a huge economy straight away, but might want to push out and just try and make a couple of drops as well. We've seen a fairly passive game so far for him altogether. I love this, actually. The Deepers coming down to create a little bit of a wall against any kind of Zealot-based army trying to come in. Even Adepts are kind of going to struggle to kind of choke through this if they're trying to move further forward. So, I like that. Little wall. I mean, it costs nothing to do. It's useful. You can lower it. So, you know, there's nothing really, you know, you don't lose anything by going for this. So, nice little move by Botvinnik as he adds on a couple more of these depots. Now, you're about to see the first Colossus pop out for GungFuBanda. He's gone into the Robo Bay and the Colossus-based opening here, as he's currently boosting out that +1 armor now as well. It's +1 armor on the way out, and Colossi just on the way out, one or so at a time. And GungFuBanda taking a little bit of position on the map, not too far out. Might just be looking towards maybe holding the 4th base. So army's actually kind of right in the middle of nowhere for this army from the Terran. kind of splits and stims in. Gets a good surround, he scans it, he sees what there is. One Colossus is not scary on its own. Is when those Colossus start adding up in, is when those Colossus start adding up in numbers, when we see sort of 2, 3 Colossi. That's when the splash damage really starts coming out. That's when the splash damage really starts to weaken up the Terran army, so that the Adepts, Zealots, or Storks, whatever you've gone for, is able to kind of get through the rest early on. It is going to be Zealots, actually, no Adepts, because it's Zealot Charge that's here. So Blink and Zealot Charge, the Stalker Zealot. I mean, oftentimes we see sort of Stalker Adept, although that being said, with the army composite, with the Colossus-based play, the kind of Stalker Zealot, I guess, is a little bit more standard, so I mean, it's just one of them things. I mean, different kind of playstyles, different compositions. That's what I'm talking about. Like, TVP has so many different viable compositions nowadays. It's really, really cool. As we're going to see a few units over here going to kill off that pylon. We're going to see drops heading towards the natural, and drops heading towards the main base too, as Botvinnik looking to start picking his opponent apart here. In the very early stages of the game, going to be coming behind this mineral line here in just a second. Marines and Marauders unloading over on the natural. Killing off the cannon, a few Zealots warping in. They go down very quickly, actually. No armor upgrades on them just yet. It's kind of, in a way, it's kind of the Zealots and the Colossi don't really help each other out. Just dropping the main base, getting a bit of damage done too. A couple of Widowmines here to try and help out as well. Because, I mean, when I say the Colossi and the Zealots don't help each other out, is because Zealots kind of benefit a lot from armor upgrades. It makes them very tanky and makes it very hard to push through the Protoss army. Whereas Colossi really benefit from attack upgrades. Their armor upgrades don't matter as much because, realistically, if your Colossus is under attack enough for an armor upgrade to matter, it's probably going to die anyway, because you've only got a few of them. So it's kind of 2 different upgrades that you need here for the 2 different aspects of this army. And that's sort of interesting. I mean, it's why kind of Colossus Zealot was so strong when Protoss was able to, used to go finding very fast double upgrades. Because, you had all those upgrades and everything in the army became so effective so quickly. A couple of upgrades now getting caught down to this left-hand side, as we see them double medevac in towards the main. They're going to come back in. A couple of cannons on the way up, but he looks like he will avoid them for the most part. And he'll drop onto this one. Actually, he's going to lose that medevac. No, the unit's going to drop out and tank the shots instead. As a stim comes in, he'll just sort of step away, target the cannon. Although that being said, the cannon was in a way kind of helping him kind of choke up these Zealots. He's going to see another armor upgrade now for GungFuBanda, so kind of realizing the importance of kind of getting these Zealots to be tanky at the front. I mean, if the Zealots last long enough, then the Colossi are going to be fairly safe towards the back. Nothing's going to kind of collapse in on them anytime soon if those Zealots are holding up towards the front of the army. As you see this, GungFuBanda continue to push towards the upper right-hand side. A few Stalkers just moving out onto the map as well, and the 4th base for Botvinnik being set up here as well. So 4th base being set up, a couple of scans coming down. And there's that 4th base for GungFuBanda dropping down as well. We're going to see some Zealots starting to charge in. I mean, a couple of teams are going to get raised up, so it's a good position for, you know, for fighting in, really, for GungFuBanda. But this is just too much for a Pro's player. He's pushing in kind of very quickly here. The Liberators weren't quite sieged up, and, well, GungFuBanda is getting quite a lot done. His Stalkers have blinked forwards, and the Stalkers are doing a lot, and the Claw side doing a lot as well. Coming off these SCVs which have been pulled in. And just like that, one killing blow from GungFuBanda going to force a GG. Botvinnik has to tap out of the game. In fact, just checking a couple of things, making sure we're all good. Which I think we are, for the most part. In fact, we are just all good. So let's go in and introduce us some players. So the lower right hand side of the map from my understanding is going to be our yellow Terran. See how guys is doing on Botvinnik to make a comeback in this series. Currently one game down. And to the lower left hand side is going to be our orange Protoss player from Team Planet Key Dynamics. It's GungFuBanda. As we set up, ready to go into our second game of this best of 3 second round here of the winners bracket. Again, we're in for a nice long day because it's the EU qualifier now, the NA qualifier later. Nice long day of action here in the HomeStory Cup qualifiers. Tomorrow we're going to be busy as well. We've got Top Dogs, SC2 Improved Team League. We've got all sorts going on tomorrow, and then on Monday as well, Leafing Cup and more. So, Probe is just checking around, looking to see what's going on early, sees the early expansion, so again, he sort of knows what's going on early on. I mean, it's the same for the SCV. I mean, the Probe Scout, the SCV Scout in the early stages of the game, they're both just sort of here to, more than anything, look to basically see the early expansion of your opponent, just confirm that that is the case, just to confirm that that's happening. And then you just sort of go from there. You know, you now know your opponent's expanding early on, and you just sort of go from that point forwards. What's this SCV just going to be moving back home, and there's that Reaper coming in. He doesn't want to lose the Reaper this time. Losing it last time kind of sucked because it means that he doesn't really get to kind of scout what's going on early on. I mean, he got away, it didn't really bother him too much. He kind of got away with it, but it is still a little bit annoying. So we're going to see this Reaper is quite desperate to get a probe kill. He's going to lose the Reaper for a probe kill. A little bit overzealous, I think. I mean, if you're just going to throw the Reaper away like that, why not just open with a reactor expand or something like that instead? As we see the natural expansion just starting up here in the natural. And we're just going to be seeing a orbital command. Just starting up in the natural. We do see a proxy pattern to the top side, and we are going to see a Stargate coming down on this. So we're going through Banda, looking for aggression right from the start of this game. Now, last time again he went straight into the Twilight Council. This game, tuning it up with the fast Oracle. As that Adept not going to commit over there against 3 Marines, no way. As we do see, well, Nexus just continuing to pop out more and more probes. Botvinnik this time around, instead of going 3CC, he's gone into second racks, factory starport, and he's just going to be going in towards a well, he had a Wooden Mine on the way out, there it is, so he's got a Wooden Mine out. You can burrow that in the mineral line to help him to protect for a little while, but it looks as though he's just going to go in towards a very standard sort of, you know, very standard sort of like medevac kind of maybe double Wooden Mine drop or something along those lines. Let's see how much this Oracle can get done. Right now 5 Marines are out towards the natural, but not quite in the mineral line, so still potential for a couple of SCV kills. I'm just going to be seeing this Oracle coming down. We're going to see what he can get up to. These Marines currently targeting down in buildable rocks. As this Oracle is nearby, ready to go, and here it is. 1, 2, again, I mean, a couple of 3 SCV kills before the Marines really move into position. As he's going to start fighting them, but realizes very quickly that he needs to be a little bit careful. 6 Marines is the number of Marines that it takes to kind of fight against an Oracle and win. And obviously more than 6 Marines here. As well, that Oracle getting very low. Now they're getting caught. That last Marine there getting one more shot. and that puts it down to just one shot away from health, one shot away from being dead. As you see, Phoenix follow up, just a single Phoenix. As you do see, the Widowmine drops on and come in towards the main base though, and well, one Widowmine drops off, but the medevac goes down, the Widowmine goes down. Very solid defense over here. Nexus starting up from GungFuBanda. He's just going to be dropping down his third base right now. Rubber Bay is on the way for GungFuBanda as well, so next on the way on the third base, I'm just going to be seeing a couple more gateways being added on. So GungFuBanda just a couple more gates and just looking to see what he can get up to. Forge, Mortal. I guess, yeah, just going towards Colossus base play once again, you know, third Nexus on the way down. So he's standard sort of play style from our pros player. He's going to drop a status support to try and block the third base for a little while, trying to slow that down from our Terran, which is nice. As we see, Twilight Council is going to start up with GungFuBanda. So Twilight Council starting up, we're going to see again just Chronobus coming down in the Nexus and just having a look to see again what can happen here in the next few moments. I mean, our Terran player is also getting to this point where Sturm Combat Shields +1 are going to be finishing soon. It's getting to the point where he may want to start dropping with his first couple medevacs as well, or his next couple medevacs. Obviously, he had a first medevac already out, trying to drop Widow Mines, which wasn't too successful. As an Oracle comes in towards the main base, going to find, well, an SCV off to the side, but I mean, that's really just about it. As we see Marines steaming forwards, Oracle going to go down. And as Oracle falls, we are just going to see these units just kind of moving out onto the map. So, we're going to see another assimilator being added on as Marines and Marauders going to be coming through the center. There's a little bit of a push here to see, again, what's happening, sort of, as a few Marines stim in, and there's going to be an Adept going down now. So, an Adept just full. And, again, just, I mean, GungFuBanda is set up very defensively over here with the rocks already kind of taken down, pylons in position. I'd actually, more than anything, if I see kind of Botvinnik go towards these rocks in the back and head towards the third base, because, I mean, I guess he doesn't know, but it's actually a better position for him to attack into right now, because the pylons are already here. You know, obviously the army can move up here as well, but not as many pylons to help out, although they're on the way now, so I guess it doesn't make too much of a difference. Either way, he's not really going to be able to attack in and get damage done. More than anything, he should just be hoping to maybe just kind of distract, and maybe even just with these two medevacs, we'll load up and try and head in towards the main base with a little bit of a drop or something. Big stim in, we're going to see one pylon going down immediately, another pylon's going to go down too. Big split, he's going to come in, surround this army, that next pylon going to go down as well. Can he really keep on fighting against this while the Stalkers are going down? Another Colossus comes into play. There's one Widowmine left to the left hand side, and he's not going to connect on anything just yet. As Botvinnik, very aggressive timing, attempt to be very aggressive here, has been somewhat successful, and it's been kind of a mix of emotions really, because he was sort of successful at the same time. He was sort of like, well, it was, you know, did it really work out? Observer here, I'm not sure if he saw that army loading up, but it looks as though he is thinking about the potential to go in towards the main base. And you see these units from GungFuBanda just moving out down the ramp and moving onto the map. Marauders going to unload over here. Loving these Liberators, they're going to make things very difficult for our Pros player trying to attack on in. One Liberator going to get targeted down, but the other one, I mean, anti-air is falling, but not fast enough. And we will see Botvinnik being turned away. Stalkers could blink after those medevacs, not really enough of them left over though. Still very good trades throughout here, I'd say, by Botvinnik, just taking cool, you know, fun little engagements. And GungFuBanda actually has so much money in the bank. If he spent that, actually he'd be way up in supply. He is ahead in supply already, but he'd be way ahead. As again, it's kind of interesting, once again, the +1 attack into +1 armor. So kind of going into kind of the attack upgrade for Colossi first, and then again the armor upgrades try and help out the Zealots as the Zealot numbers grow. The attack upgrade also helps out the Stalkers too, which are generally kind of, you know, you generally see Stalker Colossi as a natural composition because the Stalkers, they do all the work in terms of shutting down the, Stalkers do all the work in terms of shutting down Vikings and keeping those Colossi pretty safe from the air units as well. Drop going to come in towards the back of the third base. Big drop into the main at the same time. Colossi already on their way in. Single Liberator sieging up, getting a couple of shots off. As you're going to see these units just steaming around the back. Third base drop is going to get taken down very quickly by these Stalkers. As we see, Botvinnik is, well, trained very well considering there's been 4 Colossi in this base from the very start of this drop. He's been trained very well indeed. Backs away there, doesn't lose a medevac at the main. Again, he did lose the one over towards the third, though, and everything inside of it, so that was problematic as this Oracle. A new Oracle comes in, and Botvinnik just not quite expecting this and has nothing in position to defend. This Oracle picks up a good amount of kills, 6 already, and 7 now, 8, 9. These SCVs just still sort of sat here. He's going to run out of energy soon, so he does just back away and waits to hit again another day. But man, good amount of damage done there by the Oracle as some SCVs come back to mine this third base. I mean, the main base, the natural, is actually quite heavily saturated, so he's actually on pretty good economy, really. I mean, if you look to the bottom right, it's GungFuBanda, though, who's mining more. And just in general, I think GungFuBanda is in a very good position in just altogether. He's defended the drops, he's been deflecting these time after time, and I mean, here we see Botvinnik, who is still on kind of a bio-based army, not really getting much else done. His medevac's going to return back home, going to start unloading to kind of clean out the fourth base rocks. I mean, Botvinnik just hasn't really... I mean, I like what he's been doing, I liked how he's been playing, but he's not really achieved enough. He's just not really achieved enough at all, as we're going to see. These Marines and Marauders just cleaning out the rocks there, and we're going to see these few just in the up to the top side. Just going to be, you know, a couple of Zelds as well. So nice little trade there. Again, just little pickoffs, but he needs something larger right now. He needs a big drop, and well, that's going to be it. In towards the main base once again. There's Phoenix down to the south side, though, keeping an eye out for something like this moving across the map. You're going to see a scan. Not sure where that scan is. Out in the middle? Okay. Just scan out in the middle. He's going to see the edge of the army over there. I mean, now is the perfect time to drop because that army is so far out on the map. It's taking him a long time to get back home. If nothing else, it will at least force a base trade. See them rocks going to go down. And we're going to see him spawn this army now, so now it really is time to go with that drop. He's boosting across. Yes, he will fly straight into a Phoenix. Liberators might be able to deal with that. The Phoenix not going to target down a medevac or anything. As you're going to see, I mean, base trade, right? That's what Botvinnik's aiming towards here. He's already sending his units across the map. His rest of his units already in the main base. He's so ready to base trade. He is completely ready to base trade. Nothing, you know, nothing else is on his mind right now. Next is going to go down immediately. A few Zelds moving forwards. Whoa, GungFuBanda turns around. Wow, well that is very interesting if you ask me. Botvinnik is so ready for this base trade. Like, he's almost, you know, he is certain this is a base trade. He's going to come down. He's going to see this army coming back. He's going to be like, well, maybe not. Once that robo, but he mistargets him 2 times there. Stalkers will blink forwards, and they'll be looking for this bio army to start to pick away at the medevacs. And well, in the end, it's going to turn out really well for GungFuBanda, because he turns around with his main army, shuts down the entire drop, kills it all apart from 1 medevac. So he kills all of them there. He's killed off a lot of these SCVs at the third. He's cancelled the 4th base of Botvinnik, and the natural isn't mining either. So Botvinnik's kind of prepared for a base trade that never happened, and then his own kind of attempt at base trading wasn't as successful. Very well played by GungFuBanda. I mean, it's not the kind of standard way to play out that sort of situation, but he does it this way, and he kind of catches Botvinnik a bit off guard. It works out for him, and that's what's important, right? And his Zealots even going to get away too. So these Zealots, which have done so much, are still alive, and well, maybe not if they run back in towards the bio forces, but for now they're going to be okay. And they're going to be able to back away over to the left, as we're going to see. Oh, the Oracle comes in and finishes the 3rd base, which was burning down. I mean, when we saw it burn, I just sort of assumed, as I think a lot of you guys would have assumed, that it was probably just going to get repaired, but no! He comes in and gets the Oracle, gets the snipe on it. That's crazy. Wow, Oracle sniping down that 3rd base. Well, that's important as we see the Psionic Storm starting up for GungFuBanda. Plus 3 armor upgrade, going to be on the way up here for GungFuBanda on the Forge as well. You see a Stargate on the way down as well. Looking to... Well, he's already got a Stargate, but I guess another one looking to start transitioning in towards maybe Tempest upgrade, you know, Tempest and just kind of late game army. Something that's able to fight against these Liberators fairly comfortably. As we're going to see, Liberators starting to siege up, and I mean, very difficult to fight into this sort of position for GungFuBanda with the amount of stuff that he has. I was just going to be seeing everything coming forwards. A few more Liberators starting to siege up just from the center. A whole bunch of units just sieging up in the center. It's a lot of Liberators to kind of, you know, to kind of have to go up against, and it might be the Liberators which kind of carry Botvinnik through this. I mean, he's very far behind, but with the Liberators, well, you can never be sure. As we're going to see a main base landing at the 4th Oracle trying to come back in. It's a 20-kill Oracle, and it killed the 3rd CC. I mean, if that's not a effective Oracle, then I don't know what is really. As we're going to see big blink forwards, here we go. GungFuBanda, he's had enough, he's going to go forward. Storm's going to come down. Even the Liberators going to get stormed as well, and he's just going to move past the majority of these Liberators, attack from behind, and well, Just going to take down the majority of these. Again, a lot of these Liberators going to go down. Not as much damage done as he maybe would have. He trades very well. These Liberators get a lot of kills, and it's a much better fight than Botvinnik could have probably hoped for. But it's still just not enough. Them Colossi are way too good against the ground army that is around, or that was around. And GungFuBanda is just going to move on through. Look for 2-0 in this game. Botvinnik has no real option. He's kind of got a little bit of a drop over to this side, but there's units and throw an overcharge to defend it. So GG's.